Thank you. Sit down. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to this all-important public lecture, the very first in the year 2016. In the gathering like this, it is important we know those who are in front of us here. So permit me to recognize, first and foremost, the presence of the chairman of this occasion, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Mina, Professor Musbah Akwanji. In the person of Professor Abdullahi Bala, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administrations, Professor Suleiman Sadiku. In our midst is the Registrar of the University, Mrs. Veronica Victoria Kolo. Sorry, ma'am. It is not another baptism. It is only one baptism. Aha. So it is Victoria Kolo, not Veronica. The boss of the university is here with us, Mrs. Hajara Abdullahi Yusuf. We also have the university librarian, Dr. Jibril Al-Hassan. The other person they are not introduced, I will not do that yet. In fact, I am not fit to introduce that masquerade. When the time comes, the chief priest will introduce the masquerade when the time comes. We welcome all professors here, directors of center, heads of department, coordinators of unit, distinguished staff, academics and non-academics, and the chairperson, Semi Osundi. She's also here. She's supposed to be here, but I don't know why, ma'am. Great Nigerian students, yes. You are welcome. Members of the press, they are here. I know such FM team is here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in a lecture like this, we don't waste time. Everybody is eager to listen to the speaker. So we move on straight to the business of the day. And we call on the chairman for his opening remarks.
Vice chancellors, directors of centers, professors, colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that we are opening 2015 with what this university should be known for. All over the world, universities are centers where theories are propounded, ideas enumerated, and discussions follow. Fortunately for us today, we have one of the movers of the society with us to open 2015 for us in terms of public lectures. Before we start, I want to express my personal deep appreciation to our guests for agreeing to give us this lecture. When the date was proposed and I was briefed, I saw the topic. I wanted to be present personally. Unfortunately, the days that were given are days when I will not be around. I now appealed to chairman, he said chairperson. I appealed to the chairman, Seminar Kudukom Committee, to appeal to our guests to please give us a date when it is sure I'll be around. Graciously, he agrees to today, and he is around today. You are very beautiful, sir. You will see that we refuse to mention his name because he will be properly introduced. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you. We now see that we need a 2,000-seater auditorium with what I am seeing. I want to express our appreciation to all of you because it is frustrating to come all the way from Lagos to come and give a lecture. You reach the lecture hall is empty. It's very frustrating. But with this attendance, I feel fulfilled and I'm very happy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you, especially our senior citizens, for finding time to be here, and more especially our junior citizens, leaders of tomorrow. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will not waste time for that. I will call on the chairman of Seminar Local Committee. I refuse to use the acronym chairperson. I was in Ghana last week. Ladies were complaining that it should be person. Somebody now asked them, we award bachelor's degree, why not mistress degree? We award master's degree, why not madam degree? Or master's in tech, why not madam in tech? Or mistress in tech instead of bachelor's in tech. So we must agree that this chairman, Seminar Local Committee, thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, principal officers, professors present, guests from within and outside, great Nigerian students, great footmates. Yes, you are, it is with you in mind we arrange this lecture. You are all welcome. Mr. Chairman, sir, please permit me to ask our guests to stand up as I'm introducing you. Thank you, sir. Dr. Maduka. On December 24, 1958, he is the founder, president, CEO of Coscharis Group. He started the Coscharis Motors as a one-man business, and over the years, he has transformed the organization into an indigenous conglomerate with diverse interests in banking, manufacturing, ICT, and auto subsector of the Nigerian economy. Dr. Maduka came from a relatively unknown and obscure background. Having lost his father at the very early age of 4, he had no opportunity to acquire formal education. But by dint of mindset, hard work, dedication, and perseverance, he has become one of the leading chief executive officers of Nigeria. He is today an icon in the Nigerian automobile subsector of the economy, as he is regarded as a benchmark for other operators in the industry. This reflected in Coscharis Motors being appointed as a sole dealer for notable luxurious brands like BMW, MINI, Ford, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Rolls-Royce. Dr. Maduka is today regarded as success personified, as he has become a resource facilitator in youth empowerment, seminars and conferences where he has strived to educate the generality of the people that one's background does not determine one's destiny. In recognition of his outstanding qualities, experience, and contribution to the business and commercial landscape, he was awarded Honorary Doctor of Business Administration by the University of Nigeria in Nsukka in 2003. In September 2012, he was conferred with the National Honors of the Commander of the Order of Nigeria, CON, by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He served as a director in Access Bank PLC, one of the leading banks in Nigeria, for 12 years, from 2000 to 2012. He was the President Nigeria Table Tennis Federation from 1996 to 2008, where he voluntarily retired. He is an alumni of Harvard Business School, the Executive Education Program. He is currently serving on board of many companies, notable among them are CG Eco LLP, First System Refineries Limited, CG Biostat Limited. Dr. Maduka is a deacon in local Christian Assembly in Lagos, and he's married with 5 children. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Cosmas Maduka to present the first public lecture in 2015.
The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Admin, the Registrar, the Bursar, the Librarian, the Head of Department, lecturers, and dear students, good afternoon to you all. It's really humbling for me to be here this afternoon. I'm almost intimidated by your presence, but I'll try my best and give this my best. I really feel humbled to be here this afternoon to address you, and I will plead you give me your undivided attention. Standing before you, as you have heard, is Cosmas Maduka. Let me not run ahead of myself. It's a privilege to also say that I am here with only girl among the 5 children I have, that she's in the middle, my daughter, Dr. Charity Maduka. She's never been in this part of the country, even though I was born in Jos. So I told her we're going to the northern part of Nigeria. So you are going to accompany me today. Of course, the prof didn't say much, but somebody said, well, everybody has spoken. It is time for me now to spark. So it's my time now to spark. I'm sure you will relax and listen to me, because I stand here as a testimony to every one of you, like Prof has already explained, that your background have no meaning to who you will be in life. Life is about mindset. Every one of us is a product of our thought. What you think is what you become. The guy standing before you stopped in school in elementary 3 because of the death of my father. The best subject when I went to school was mathematics. Before the teacher then, we don't call him lecturer, finished setting the maths, sitting down, I passed my book. But English was my worst subject, and he's still dealing with me till today. So my coat didn't match my trouser. I do ask them, did my experience match God's word? If it does, then the rest is history. Today we shall be discussing a few things of the basic requirement of a person that wants to be a successful entrepreneur. But before we go into details, let me quickly say that there are laws that control everything we do in life. Entrepreneurship is not an exception. Only 1 out of 20 people have been proven to be a successful entrepreneurs. Others are managers, entertainers, or just following. Every good thing in life comes with a price. Particularly, everything in a shopping mall is open to anybody to take away, except on one small conditionality. You need to pay. Did you get that? Yes. Anybody can take anything that is in the mall. There's nobody's name written on it. It's for grab. If you have the money, you get in there, you take it. The President of the United States of America, Jonathan Goodluck, Coscharis Madoka, yourself, anybody who were ready to pay the price will take what is in the mall. It's for grab. But on one condition, that you got to pay. The condition may differ. Pay now, full, or pay later. Or pay a little and pay later. But the denominator factor is that you got to pay. How long it takes you to pay is a material, but you got to pay. That is how life is. This wall you see is a big mall that God has created. And everything on it is for takeaway. But it's looking for a man or a woman who is willing to pay the price, and he will go home with whatever he paid for. The mode of payment may be flexible and perhaps appear quite friendly, like buy now and pay later, or pay little by little as usual seen abroad, but you must pay. It is therefore important to mention at this junction that the success of great meeting is not in the great ministration or the result of the great lecturer or anything at all, but it depends on the individuals it depends on the participant of the lecturer. A great coach does not necessarily make a star, but the star is made by the participant. A great coach does not make a star, but the star is made by the participant. By the choice they make. It takes discipline, dedication, and sacrifice to be a great star. The scar of a star is the sacrifice he paid. Also, in the same vein, a great teacher does not necessarily produce a first-class brain, but the great input in the student. So what you are going to get out of this lecture will be the decision you will make as a result of what you have had today. 20 students don't work together after 20 years. Every one of them take their bearing as a result of choices they made in life. In the aviation industry, in the aviation industry, you are first sent to the ground school as a recruit. It is called ground school because it will teach you all about flying on the ground before you eventually take off in the air. So by the time you are taking off in the air with your flight instructor, you will know what it makes you to fly and what will make you to crash. The purpose of this ground school is to prepare you for successful flight. In the ground school, you are taught 4 basic laws that govern flying, namely the law of thrust, which will take you forward, the law of gravity, which will pull you down, the law of lift, which will draw you up, and the law of drag that steadies the airplane on the motion. The knowledge of these 4 basic laws has empowered the engineers to design different types of airplane for all kinds of purpose. Young recruits usually get sick because of fear. However, the more they understand about how the laws work to make the airplane take off, fly, and land, the less afraid they become. In flight training, you learn these laws on the ground so that when you take off, you will not be afraid or anxious in the air. Instead, you will understand how you will fly. When you do not know these laws, flying will be a mystery or a mirage to you. You know, if you fly an airplane and there's a turbulence, people panic. A lot of people never prayed, but when the airplane started turbulent, they start praying. I see some of my friends, good Catholic people, will now start praying their rosary. Some Muslims also count it, and some Christians carry their Bible. One man stayed behind me one day when there was trouble. He just jumped up and said, I must confess. I must confess. When the thing was over, the man didn't confess anything. But he thought it was over and he was ready to make confession. But the captain relaxed and just said, ladies and gentlemen, we are passing through a small turbulence. It's nothing for you to worry. So please just sit down. It's just anything to worry about. But a lot of people have prayed. Some people, those are Pentecostals, spoke in tongues. Different people did everything they can. But if you understand, you will not panic. You will relax. Because you know, once those laws are obeyed, you will have a journey flight. This lecture is a grand school where you will learn how to overcome anything that is pulling you down supernaturally and arise above it and discover the complete joy of flying in life. Your lecturers have prepared you well. So when I got the invitation from engineer Mrs. Osonde to be here today to present a public lecture, I sat down trying to think of what on earth can I add to your curriculum, which has not already been given to you. And that is when I realized my role to teach you what to do if all of the things that you know did not work. There are many times when in life, there may come a time when your life take unexpected turn, contrary to popular belief, and probably any business book you may have ever read. I ask you to choose vulnerability over perfection. Or maybe you are the person in a position of taking a chance on someone. Do it. Listen for your inner wish. If the ideal job does not present itself, if life throws you a curveball and your personal situations become a hurdle en route to your dreams, and if your career path detour in the way you did not foresee, I will advise you do it. I will advise you to do what I did. When I lost my father at the age of 4, for those onlookers, then it appeared like every hope has gone for me in life. But for me, it was not as devastating as it appeared then because of my innocence as a child. The death of my father deprived me of acquiring a formal education, as many of you are doing today. I worked for my uncle for 7 years, almost 7 years, 6 years plus, without pay. If you have read the book of Robert Kiyosaki that said, do not work for money, work to learn. Don't let money be the God in your mind. The problem with students and many people of our life today is that they believe that money is everything. Don't you ever place money ahead of knowledge. If you place money ahead of knowledge, you will lose money to gain the knowledge that you lack in pursuing learning. And people of the world will say you learn in a hard way. I worked 7 years without pay. For me, it was the best university anyone could go in life because of the discipline I learned in those 7 years. When I graduated in 1976, I pictured myself running a big institution like the ones today I can call my client. The thought never crossed my mind that my uncle was going to give me only 200 naira in 1976. But I did something crazy, accepting the 200 naira with gratitude, but with a change of mind. And this is the first thing I want you to know, that changing your mind is a gift you give yourself. Don't cling to the narrative of your life. You dreamed up in a dorm room. Cleave to your values, but be flexible with how your story unfolds. Now, when looking for a job, your inclination might be to either pick a company you want to work for or a skill you wanted to exercise. Work for somebody who inspires you every day. Who inspires you every day to try new things and think more deeply. Surround yourself with smartest people. I always learn mostly when I work for somebody I admire. I have found that nothing guarantees success better than choosing your boss. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. I give life my best and always do things which I cannot do in order to learn how to do them. So here is my final bit of encouragement before we get into the main topic. If your path doesn't look like you imagine it, don't be scared. Your path is exactly what it needs to be for the opportunity you haven't yet met. Let me say that again. Your path is exactly what is needed to be for the opportunity you have not met yet. Years from now, it will make sense to you what I have just said. The first secret on the journey to success is our attitude. You know, attitude is more important than anything you can think about. I earlier told you that it starts from your thinking process. When you think about negative things will dominate you. If you think about positive things, you are a product of your thought. What you think is what you become. When you think about anything and that thing dominates your mind, good or bad, you will not know unconsciously the things you thought will be your words. No matter how fast I speak, a word is an expression of a thought. You never say anything that does not go through your thinking faculty first. So when that thought dominates you, it becomes a word. And that's why they want us to say, watch your thoughts, for it will become your words. And your words will become your action. And your action will become your attitude. And your attitude will become your character. At the end of the day, your character will become what? Your destiny. And you will be saying, am I destined for this? No. It started from your thinking process. Your thinking process. What? The first secret to the journey to success is your attitude. The Bible has a lot to say about our thinking. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. Oprah Winfrey said, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. What is an attitude? Attitude is our inward feeling expressed by our behavior. It is an advancement of your true self. Its roots are hidden, but its fruit is always visible. Our attitude is our best friend or our worst enemy. It draws people to us or repels people from us. Your attitude is never contained until it expressed, and it determines our success or failure in all our endeavor. It is a choice, for it is not based on circumstances. Our attitude will determine the quality of our relationships. It is more important than anything we can think about. It will determine our success here on earth, and as a matter of fact, our attitude will determine our internal destination. The remarkable things about attitude is that we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we choose to embrace. There are two choices, a good attitude and a bad attitude. As we discuss this subject of what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, we have one of those two. If you are angry now or today, you are angry by choice. We are angry because we choose to be angry. Let me share Dr. Franklin's experience. Dr. Franklin, and that experience is the most powerful experience I have ever come across. He was a Jewish doctor picked up by the Nazis during the Holocaust and put in a concentrating camp. They killed his family, gave him a tattoo, shaved his hair, and treated him like an animal. All through the duration of the Holocaust, those around him were amazed at his bright, tough-mind optimism he had. And when it was all over, they asked him how he managed to maintain such esteem. And he said, the Nazis could change my name, kill my family, stab me and treat me like an animal, but they cannot force me to choose the way I thought about myself and the future. I refuse to let any man affect the way I believe about myself and about tomorrow. My friends, this is what you need. Every one of you listening to me here. Don't blame your circumstances on anybody. When we talk about adversity, what is an adversity? Adversity is a refining fire that burns out the purities in our life. Adversities are not made to stop you. Those of us who go to church read in the book of Job, when Job said, when I am tried, I shall be purified. I shall come forth like gold, purified. Gold is not witnessed to come in its best form until it is put in the fire. So when you meet difficulties, things you never plan about in life faces you, it helps to get the best out of you if there is something in you. When life demands a great price to be paid, that is when many people throw in the towel. And that's why at the top of the ladder, there are very few people there, but at the bottom of the ladder, there are very many people, because they are not willing to pay the price life demands upon them. Standing before you this afternoon is Coscharis America, who by convention was supposed to be nobody as a result of the circumstances surrounding my childhood. I lost my father when I was 4 years old and had no opportunity of having a formal basic education, having dropped at primary 3. Today, I am privileged to be here, not because of my academic qualification or the university I attended, If you want to know the truth, they've already told you. University of Nigeria was just being charitable when they gave me a doctorate degree.